We'll open our meeting at 6 PM. This is Tuesday, January 2026, meeting of the West Brookfield Board of Selectmen. First item on our agenda are the minutes for December 23rd and January 6th.
I'll make a motion to approve the December 23rd minutes.
Second the motion. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve the January 6th meeting minutes.
I'll second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The chief just left. Next item on our agenda is the Police Department Mental Health Clinician Grant. Discussion, possible votes.
Let me just open up my computer here.
No, man.
Just so you know, the document here, Nate has all of the 3 items on there, so
Mhm.
you might have to refer back to that when we hit the other ones.
Okay.
Just give me one moment. Just waiting for it to update. Okay, the Mental Health Commission grant.
Yeah.
So, the police department have been working with Hardwick New Braintree for a co-response clinician. And part of this grant is we're seeking select board support. So the Department of Mental Health, which is what this grant is from, wants to see the support of the select boards that, hey, we're gonna accept this grant. There already has a support of District Attorney's Office, the Chief Probation Officer, and we didn't just write this ourselves. We used a leading expert in the field, Dr. Sarah Abbott from William James College. Dr. Abbott had started the first mental health clinician program in the state in Framingham, Massachusetts, and she has been a champion for the co-response clinical program. One of the vendors we're looking at isn't just a referral program for the co-response clinician. One of the vendors can actually treat individuals that they get referrals for. So the typical model for co-response clinicians in the Commonwealth has been they would go out on a call with us, we would make sure the scene is safe, and then the co-response clinician would do their due diligence and make referrals as needed. Here, they can not only make the referrals, but if we end up selecting this particular vendor, they'll be able to do treatment as well for the referrals that we make. Can also do outside referrals as well. I'll just read a quick excerpt. The addition of a full-time co-response diversion clinician is critical for addressing the mental health needs in underserved and under-resourced communities like West Brookfield, New Braintree, East Brookfield, North Brookfield, Hardwick, and others in the region. These smaller communities often lack the mental health resources needed to effectively respond to individuals in crisis. Without adequate support, individuals in mental health emergencies may end up in emergency rooms or in jail, neither of which addresses the underlying needs. A co-responder will provide on-the-ground expertise, helping officers assess the situation and determine the most appropriate care, and guide individuals to treatment options that are better suited to them. This will help prevent overburdening local hospitals, reduce unnecessary Section 12 commitments, and improve outcomes for individuals experiencing a mental health crisis. By working directly with our officers, the co-responder will also help provide crucial training and resources to better address these situations. This approach will not only offer immediate support to individuals, but will also build a stronger, more coordinated system of care in these communities that are often stretched thin when it comes to mental health services. and I'll just give you a little bit more information on this. When you guys interviewed me to be your next chief, one of my initiatives was to try to develop a co-response clinical program. When I got here, I learned that the Hardwick New Braintree Lieutenant, now Chief Landine, was already working on it. But working with the Department of Mental Health is a bit cumbersome. It's very difficult to get through their grant process. So, and we wanted to make sure we had a strong grant narrative. So working with Chief Landine, myself, and Dr. Sarah Abbott and her team, we developed this grant narrative. We brought it forward to these other communities, who I believe have all, their select boards have already voted to support the co-response clinical program. And once we brought it to them, we have to get through the DMH portal. Our town administrator, Teresa, has generously given her time to help us navigate that DMH portal. The cost for this is around $115,000 a year, and that would all be paid for by the grant. It's not gonna be a town employee, which I know is gonna be one of your questions, so I'll answer that now. It's not a town employee, this would be a vendor employee. So if the grant went away, we would have no responsibility for any type of benefits to that person. So we're basically looking for your support to continue to seek this grant opportunity. We're in the final stages, we're at the finish line with it, so we can get it submitted to DMH.
What's the cost to the town of the grant?
$0.
$0? It's not a
It's-
matching grant, it's not, does the grant, what happened, how long's the grant run for?
So depending on how we go about it, it could be yearly or every 3 years, depending on the maximum dollars that we can allocate per year for the grant. So we may have to apply for it every year,
Mhm.
or it may be a 3-year grant. I guess the cost, this isn't a $0 cost. It's gonna cost us time for reporting and whatnot.
Well, sure, yeah,
But-
it's soft cost.
Yeah, but there's no matching grants, and there's no actual cost of town, other than the town's gonna, I believe it's a reimbursement grant, so we pay the clinical costs, submit the invoices, and get reimbursed.
I had another question, I don't remember what. Cammy, do you have any questions?
I've got a couple. So, Chief, is there any expectation that we would then, after the end of a term, try to hire somebody rather than having a vendor do this? Are we making any kind of commitment like that?
Cammy, that's a
part of the
great
grant?
question, and we don't have the expertise, the software, or, quite frankly, if I didn't say it already, the expertise to take on that burden of that employee, so I don't believe there is no expectation for us to, it's not like a cops hiring grant. A lot of the
Okay.
communities that are successful with this grant have long-standing abilities to hold on to that grant, as long as they're meeting performance metrics.
Using a vendor consultant kind of model?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay,
But it's not like the cops hiring grant where it would be, you know, the feds pick up 100%, 75%, 50%, 25%, then the cost share goes to the town.
right,
This is 100% state funded through DMH.
okay, as long as the grant keeps coming through, obviously.
Correct. And anecdotally, I would say 70 to 80% of our calls have some type of substance abuse or mental health component to it, or calls for service.
So if we are in this grant and the 3 communities are applying, it sounds like one grant application for 3 communities together, who's gonna take the lead on it?
So that'd be West Brookfield. There has to be a grantee. We'll be
Yep.
submitting the grant on behalf of the member communities. I believe there's 5 member communities, but we would also allow for mutual aid, just like we have our police officers go mutual aid for this program.
Okay, so the only thing, I'm concerned about is if we take the lead, and what I'm hearing is it's a reimbursement grant. And after what we've just gone through a little bit, I want to be very cautious about having the reimbursements submitted, whether it's us for all the communities or how that's gonna work, that Don is aware of this and somebody's gonna take the responsibility at the town hall to submit for those reimbursements, so we make sure we get reimbursed every dollar we spend.
Yeah, I would take the responsibility for that and take the lead on that. I'd be happy to do that. I was just doing the numbers. The police department has earned over $230,000 in grants and earmarks since FY '23, and due to an accounting error on my end, I believe I've made $139 in errors. So, and I fixed that accounting error. Like, it was just a reporting error for overtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely take the lead on that. I know I can definitely see your concern, especially with with the last with the last board meeting. But
Right.
that,
And
you're
that's my
having a full
concern.
you're having a full-time person that's been dealing with grants. It's a professional in your community, and I'll make sure I take the lead on that.
And I think it's a good opportunity for a lot of communities, especially not having to hire an employee for any of us. The grant funding, that opportunity, but I just also want to make sure we're on board as far as the accounting and the financial practice to make sure we are paying the bills and getting reimbursed each dollar, because otherwise the grant isn't to our benefit.
100%. I have not missed a grant submission deadline since I've been your police chief.
I appreciate it, thank you.
If there's a conflict, or if there's there's 5 communities in this grant, what happens if 2 or more are trying to get the mental health clinician at the same time?
Yeah, it's just going to be available resources. So the mental health clinician, we don't have the exact days you're going to be spending in. It's going to be a 1 to 9 or a 2 to 10, 40-hour-a-week model, full-time position. That clinician's going to spend some time in West Brookfield, some time in Hardwick, New Braintree primarily. They may spend a day in East Brookfield and North Brookfield as well to get to know those officers. But as the calls come in, that's how those calls are going to be vetted. There's definitely a likelihood or a probability that more than one call could be answered at one time. The clinician can't, obviously, we can't split the clinician up in half and have that person go on 2 calls. But we can vet those calls and make referrals, and they can follow up afterwards.
And what did you say the hours of the clinician were?
Somewhere around 1 to 9 or 2 to 10 is what our initial thoughts are.
Is that when you find the majority of the?
Yeah. Yep.
Kim, do you have any other questions?
I don't,
Teresa, do you have any comments or questions?
no.
All right, I would entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve supporting the Department of Mental Health clinician grant application.
I'll second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You have our support.
All right, thank you.
And look at that, perfect timing at 6:15. I'm assuming you're here for the poll hearing?
Yeah.
So this is for the poll hearing for Kennedy Road, number 311-01668, National Grid to install 1 JO pole on Kennedy Road, beginning at a point approximately 4,550 feet north of the center line of the intersection of Lyon Road and Kennedy Road. National Grid to install a new pole, number 16-50, on Kennedy Road, West Brookfield.
Yep, so that's exactly it. We're calling to put in a new pole, 16-50, as part of the road widening that's going on there. Just because of how long the span was, and another pole is needed in between 17 and 16.
And there's no butters here from that part of the road.
No, mailing went out, so.
This is part of the larger plan for improving the poles, or just because of the road widening?
We do improvements. A lot of the jobs that we do, a lot of jobs is customer work, stuff like that. We might have to fix something that's needed in the area when that's part of the project that we're currently working on. And just because of the work we're doing, where we have to move the line further out so the road can be widened, because we're touching that, they have to address the long span that there is, and get another pole in.
Kimmy, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Teresa, do you have any questions, comments?
No, I do not.
I will, I guess we need a motion to approve the installation of the new pole.
So I'll make a motion to approve a pole on Kennedy Road, number 311016668 for National Grid for one JO pole on Kennedy Road, beginning at the point approximately 50 feet north of the center line of the intersection of Lyon Road and Kennedy Road. And it's install new pole 16-50.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Get your pole. Thank you.
Have a nice night.
You
Thank
too. Next on our agenda is to form a search committee for the fire chief position. Discussion, votes, appointments expected. Teresa?
Hi, so, really, it would be to form an interview committee because you've already posted for the position, so just want to make note of that. So it's an interview committee, and our interim fire chief had proposed it consists of 3 on-call fire chiefs. So I believe the 3 that are willing to be on this committee is the fire chief out in Wales, Brimfield, and Peter Sam. They're all on-call fire chiefs, so they have a really good understanding of an on-call department, so that's going to be very important. The other members of the interview committee would be the union steward and one of the West Brookfield firefighters. And we would be looking at, I believe, maybe February 11th to start the interviews, just to give these fire chiefs enough notice. And that I also have some kind of a summary of what we'd be looking for that our interim had given us. And I'm going to review that and then send that over to you guys. So for the purpose of tonight's meeting, it's basically to establish the interview committee for the fire chief position. And what'll happen after they do their interviews, they'll narrow it down. So far we have 4 applications. They'll narrow it down probably if we don't really receive many more within the next week, because we had decided to put it out there for like 3 weeks just to give enough time for applications. So if we don't have too many more, then we'll probably just narrow it down to 2. And then that committee will come forward with their recommendations of the 2 for interview by the select board. That's what I've got for you.
All right. I see Brad Merkel just joined the meeting. He just dropped out again. All right. Um, are we expecting the interview committee to provide us with a finalist, two finalists, and we do the final interview, or how do we?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly how it'll go.
All right.
There you
And he's out again.
go. Oh, buddy.
Kami, do you have the potential appointees in front of you to make the motions, or do you?
I don't have them in, I've got the list of, I don't have the people's names, but I just heard what Teresa was saying. The one question I had, Teresa, or I can make a motion and we can have discussion, how's that? I'll make a motion to have, to approve an interview committee set up for the fire chief's position to consist of 3 on-call fire chiefs, one, the fire chief from Wales, Brookfield, and Petersham, our union steward of the fire department in West Brookfield, and one of the West Brookfield firefighters.
I'll second the motion. Discussion?
Only questions I have is, for the interview committee, are the fire chiefs gonna be coming up with a list of questions that all the candidates, I'm just trying to look at from the HR standpoint of who's developing the list of questions that's gonna be asked at that meeting? So that way, all candidates and a little bit of training for some of the people, make sure they're all on board of what they can ask and what they can't?
Right, right. So, I think Dennis and I are gonna go over the questions together,
Okay,
and then those will be, and we'll meet with the 3 chiefs in advance.
okay. I just want a little, education piece before they get in that process, if they've never
Yeah.
been in that before.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah. And each will be asked the same questions.
Any other discussion? So the only thing I want to comment on is that I think the motion should be amended just to form the interview committee, and then we should have separate motions for each person. I have the list of names, and we can do that, if that's all right.
please feel
Yeah.
free.
Except that I don't believe we have the firefighter chosen.
Okay, well, we
I
can
think several
actually,
have come forward, but
well, we can add them later. I just wanted,
Okay.
for the sake of the video call, of the television, that
Yeah.
that we verbally say the names.
Sure, and I just don't have the list in front of me to be able to do
Yep.
that, so.
Yep, no, I'll do it. So, all in favor of forming the interview committee? Aye?
Aye.
Brad?
I'm coming in late, but I'll, that sounds like you guys have it.
All right. So, now we're gonna do, so, I know it's not normal for the chair to actually make a motion, but, because I'm the one with the names in front of me. Or how about this, I'll accept,
Do you want to just make make a motion to include the name, which is?
no, how about I'll accept a motion and somebody can say so moved. So I'll accept a motion to appoint Jonathan Bonin to the Fire Chief Interview Search Committee.
I'll make that motion.
Second? Brad, you want a second, since you're in now?
Second?
Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'll accept a motion to appoint Robert Laguerre to the Fire Chief Interview Committee.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. I'll accept a motion to appoint John Croak to the Fire Chief Interview Committee.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. I'll accept a motion to appoint Don Codis, is that pronounced right?
I'm not sure how to pronounce his name.
Contois. To the
Contoys.
Contois,
It's Donald Contoys, yes.
Donald Contois to the Fire Chief Interview Committee.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, our committee is formed, and when we have that other firefighter, we can just add him.
Are we gonna be meeting before they would set up a interview?
Yes.
Okay. Checking the dates, okay.
All right. Next on our agenda is the purchase of the outdoor evidence storage. We need to revisit this. I got some feedback from our last meeting that what we were trying to do was very much in the gray area of legality. So I don't think we can do it under the current article. I think we need to find another way to do this. I'm just not sure what that way is. So I think we need to rescind the vote from the last meeting for the outdoor evidence storage. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a
I do.
motion to rescind that. Rescind the passive vote in the last article involving the evidence storage pertaining to the police department evidence storing.
I'll second that motion.
Discussion? Any no discussion? Do you want to
Just-
comment?
I would just like to, figure out what you'd like to do from here, because this is, something that is absolutely necessary for the police department.
No, I agree. I agree.
And I was speaking with, the town administrator, Teresa, and maybe put something at special town meeting to reword the article. I wasn't sure how we wanna handle that, because it's going to be a small sum of money.
So let's take this vote and then we can talk about it, another way to pay for it. So, if there's no further discussion, or we'll continue discussion after the vote, all in favor of rescinding? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Teresa, did you have some thoughts?
Well, as I had stated in my email correspondence, you could consider one option might include presenting a new article specifically for outdoor evidence storage, and then potentially fund that by transferring unused funds from that Article 10 for the town hall security and evidence room remodel. So that is one way to do it, or you could seek to amend and rescope Article 10. So in either scenario would work. It's just that it has to be done at, obviously at a town meeting. So-
What's the small sum of money we're talking about again?
An estimate would be $3,000.
Including the fence?
So I was trying to come up with the fence off the top of my head here. I do have an installer. The fence is a small fence. It's a 10 by 20 fence, maybe 6 feet. I don't have the hard numbers on the fence. I was trying to ballpark that one. The actual, I gave you guys the cost of either the 8x4 or the 8x8 container, which is a
Yeah.
bit smaller than the 8x20. We don't really need an 8x20. I was trying to look for something that was cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
And then going back to the drawing board after the last meeting, there is some space concerns outside. And the need isn't great for an 8x20. The need is great to have something. So I think an 8x4 and 8x8 would be sufficient. Those run somewhere between $1,650 to $2,000. So maybe, I guess less than $5,000 would be a solid number. And we're gonna be well under budget for the article, that we have open as well.
But as for that shit is delicious.
Small town
My
politics.
apologies.
But, yeah, I mean, as long as we can have a strategy for this, it's, you know,
I know you'd probably prefer to do it at the special town meeting, but if we have to do it, I think it's just such a late date to try to amend anything for the special, that we do it at the annual, and we could make it a lot cleaner. I know it doesn't, I know you're eager to get moving on this, but
honestly, I'm here to work with you guys. I'm not here to work against you or have friction. It's something that needs to be done. We have managed, but it's not something that we should manage, and we should force our mutual aid partners to hold evidence for us, and it really causes chain of custody issues. Would I like to get it done sooner? 100%. Is it something that, if it has to wait, it has to wait? Absolutely, we'll do whatever it takes.
yeah. I think we should wait.
Chief, how big of storage do you need?
So,
Like, what's going in there, so we can try to get you what you need and actually get a ballpark of how big of an area we're looking at.
So, in your packets, I have an 8x8 shipping container and an 8x4 container. Either one would be just fine. And the current cost of the 8 foot by 10 foot insulated container is $1,900, and that's with shipping. And the 8x4, it's a smaller container. It actually has a door, which is kind of nice. Has a smaller footprint, and that one's $2,100 with shipping. We can't beat those prices locally for that type of container.
And those containers are gonna be pretty much locally available at any time whenever this comes to fruition?
Well, I mean, it's from a major supplier of containers. I can't control the cost of what the cost is gonna be in 6 months, but I would think that these are probably pretty readily available.
Okay. Thank you.
You said your options were 8x4 and 8x.
8x4 and 8x8. Beth, can you bring up that email?
How large is a normal Comex?
Well, I have them in here.
8 by
I
20.
have the printout
20.
in your email.
But I mean, they could actually see it on their screen.
Well, I see the picture of the 8x4 in here.
Yeah.
But
And
that's,
I also actually created a map for you guys too.
the 8x4 seems like that would be really small.
But we also have a fence for a lot of the bulk storage too, so I'd be happy to meet offline to discuss
Oh, sorry.
any needs, but
It's just gonna
um,
bring me over there, so.
we need an area that's secure outside. And, you know, if we get an 8x8, yeah, we could put a dirt bike in that. Like, I would lean towards the 8x8. It's a couple $100 cheaper, and it's not much of a bigger footprint. And I think that's enough for us.
The 8x8 is cheaper than the 8x4?
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense, I guess. Because they're basically all cut down Comex boxes, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we can do this as an article at the annual and do it right.
Yeah, we've been making do for a while. I just don't want to make do permanently. So that
Yeah.
absolutely fine. We're here to work with you guys.
Any other comments regarding this issue?
We may want to take a look on whether at the annual town meeting, we usually have a special town meeting portion as well. Whether legal counsel suggests that the special town meeting might be more appropriate than the annual town meeting, since it's already an article approved and either we're amending it or transferring. Yeah.
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 But that same night.
Couldn't we just bring it up on the floor and say, hey, the police department needs, Board of Selectmen recommend, during the town meeting? And let the townspeople vote on it?
Do you mean during the special?
Yeah, during the special.
My only
You
concern
mean in 2
with,
weeks?
yeah, it was next week.
Yeah.
My only concern with that, Brad, is, one of the complaints is a lack of transparency and things being rushed. And given the way that we did it, or tried to do it at our last meeting, wasn't the optimum way. I'd hate to appear to be rushing this topic. If somebody, that's all.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's also a matter of, we've also closed that warrant when we voted to post that warrant for the special town meeting coming up next week.
right,
So we've closed it, so to add anything to it, I don't believe we're able to. And I
no,
don't think we can just add something on the fly that night.
Well, what if we
Something
did it
that's
on,
not-
like annual, where you can just kind of,
No.
anyone can really make a motion or something.
no, we can do it at the annual town meeting, no problem. We can do it as an article and do it the right way.
Right,
Okay.
and that's what I was saying, either
Yeah.
in June, either the special town meeting portion or the annual town meeting portion, one or the other, have an article to do that if that's what's needed.
That sounds like that works.
Any further discussion on the topic? All right, moving on. Next item on our agenda is some special use permits for the lake.
The motor,
Excuse
the
me.
motor proclamation, yeah.
Oh, the motorcycle
Excuse
proclamation,
me,
I'm
Roland?
sorry. Yeah,
Excuse me, did you skip over item 4?
item 4? Oh, we
Yeah.
did, you're right.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. How did I do that?
you're welcome.
Budgeting, going back, budget, item number 4, I'm just, item 4, budget
Moving
for
right
the,
along.
yeah. Budgeting
You
for
don't want
this,
another 9:30 meeting.
I do not, I do not. All right, item 4 is budgeting for special event police detail for the town, Memorial Day bonfire, et cetera. And you actually presented us with the cost numbers, which is awesome. So, what are you looking for from us tonight?
So, in my FY '26 budget, I do budget for various things in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is the Memorial Day Parade, the bonfire, and the summer concert series. That's been a long-standing tradition that we have that in our police department budget. With the budget freeze and only spending overtime monies on absolute necessities, I talked to town administrator, said, what do we think about these? And we both agreed that we should bring it to you guys for clarification. So with the budget freeze, I'm seeking clarification on if we can hire police personnel for the Memorial Day Parade, the bonfire, and the summer concert series. Just looking for some guidance on that. And the cost of Memorial Day Parade is plus or minus $1,700 to do that on the police department side. That provides adequate minimum safety measures for the parade. If we don't do that, I would recommend, if we can't have a police presence at the parade, whether it's through my overtime budget or through whatever other revenue resource allocations, if there was fundraising or whatever, it would be my recommendation not to have, not to support the Memorial Day Parade, if we can't provide adequate safety measures for it. The summer concert series costs $211.20 per event. We're not able to fill every event as it is. We try to, and then I oftentimes will pop into the concert series as well, and you get me for the bargain price of my salary. And then the bonfire, the projected cost is 2 officers for 4 hours, and that's $422.40. That's what I budget for that, and I'm just looking for some guidance. I'm not looking to approve a specific number,
No.
but should we Should I let the organizers know that, you know, we can or we can't,
So when you did your budget for this fiscal year, you included those in your numbers, correct?
that's correct.
So the numbers, the money that is budgeted, I don't, and all those things I would hate to see end because we couldn't provide or make things, continue to be services. Like they can see me, right? Any comments, Cammy and Brad, Teresa?
I think what we're up against is because we put the budget freeze on, we said the overtime was gonna be per circumstance that came up. And these are gonna be some of the things that I understand this year it's budgeted. But going forward, those are the things that we're gonna need to look at, whether we're able to continue those kind of things going forward if we don't have the funds.
No, I understand.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna be important for town people to realize.
Brad? Is he still in?
I think he's muted.
Yeah.
I know, I totally agree. I mean, that's something that we'd probably have to bring up to the town to say, I hate to see another white Christmas scenario, right? All of a sudden, we're 2 weeks, a month away from the summer concert series or anything like that, and then we're like, oh, by the way, there's not gonna be any police presence. I think we would have some not very happy townspeople.
Well, I think it's gonna be a matter of, would the event go on without the police presence? I think it would not be a good thing to have the event without police presence.
I agree. I agree.
So, you know, we've got the money budgeted, although we put a freeze on and we're trying to case by case come up with those. Do we let them go through for this year? But that only takes us till June 30th. Because the budget they vote in June starts July 1, and if we don't have the money, what are we doing in July and August will become the question, and that needs to be clear at town meeting. That's some of the things we need to discuss.
I would say the bonfire is of utmost importance. That's something I would say approve for overtime, right? And you know, some of the concert series, but I mean, you could say, hey, listen, we can have an officer present, but if we can't, you know, I mean, if the money's not there, if a call comes in, the only other question is, Chief, if you have like I know you wanted before, prior to, you wanted SEMLAC duties with motors to come out and stuff like that. Is that still something possible that SEMLAC would help pay for?
So we could use SEMLAC, but we can't use SEMLAC in lieu of our own overtime. SEMLAC is a support unit. They're not gonna take the calls for us. I'd love to use SEMLAC motors for the bonfire. The Asparagus Festival, if needed. We don't need a whole lot of a presence. And we're a member community, but we can't replace our officers with officers from other communities. I mean, we need our people there.
Yeah.
What has been the minimum amount of officers you had on when we had those events?
So the Memorial Day
And like call
parade,
volume?
the Memorial Day parade is an all hands on deck. We call every officer in. It's mandatory overtime, and we need to protect your parade route as best we can, and you know, as safely as we can, without making it too apparent to everybody that we're really trying to protect your parade route, right? We want everybody to have a respectful time to honor our veterans on Memorial Day, and we want to do that as well. But we want to make sure that parade route is as protected as possible. I mean, I can't ensure 100% security, but we can do our best with the people we have to have adequate and have some minimum safety standards.
Now, the concert and the common and the bonfire, are those all hands on deck too, or is that just?
No,
like
the
two
concerts
officers?
on the common, I typically hire one officer for. And these costs are based upon, and this is another important methodology, is that these costs are based upon the special assignment rate and not an officer detail rate. So the special assignment rate is much more cost effective than an actual detail rate. So the special assignment rate is somewhere around $52, $54 an hour. And those Memorial Day detail rate next year, probably gonna be about $95 an hour. So it's much more cost effective if I can use a special assignment rate as opposed to that, detail rate. Summer concert series, we do hire one for, I do not force overtime for it. The bonfire, I ensure that we get 2 people for that. I may or may not force for that, I may count myself as a person, to try to help out depending on the staffing needs. And another important thing I'd like to make note of is the Asparagus Festival, you don't see them on here. They
Yeah.
hire a police detail for us. They have the funds to do that. And they're a quasi-town entity, and I think that does cause a rift, because I've never budgeted for the Asparagus Festival. But White Christmas, the summer concert series, the bonfire, the Memorial Day parade are all budgeted for. And I think we also should come up with some type of clear policy on, when is the police department gonna take the responsibility, and i.e. the town gonna take the responsibility, and when is the other organizers gonna need to take responsibility. That's been brought up to me by the Asparagus Festival organizers as well.
They don't want to continue with the responsibility?
No, they
want
would
to shift
love, they would love for me to be able to put it into my budget and have the, be part of our,
Yeah.
guaranteed, community outreach, right, and community policing. I'm all for it, but I'm also understand that there is some serious budget constraints, and my 2 budgets, without getting into too much, reflect that. One budget does have all this stuff in it, and the other one does not have all of these events in it, and they'll have to find alternative
Yeah.
methods.
Well, that's good. That's a good point and question there. I was gonna actually ask that. What about bandstand? Does bandstand have a certain amount of money that they could chip in to cover these costs? Are they a separate entity? How are they getting funded for the bandstand series?
So I think that's more of a question for the bandstand. I know that when they get their funding, they often receive grants from Country Bank. But they've
Mhm.
never included us, the police department, for that type of funding. But that would really be a question for the bandstand. I'd hate to answer that for them.
Right. Because it could save some money if it came down to them having to chip into it. An overtime officer at our rate is a lot cheaper than hiring out a private detail that we'd be forced to pay, right?
Right.
Any other discussion? So I would be in favor of accepting a motion to continue with the events as planned in the last fiscal budget.
I'll make a motion to approve the overtime as specified by the chief for Memorial Day Parade, the bonfire event, the summer series through June 30th at least, and knowing that the Asparagus Festival is paid by that group.
I second that motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Could-
Go ahead, Brad.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Could we look into the bandstand and let them kind of know the situation, see where they stand with that? Maybe helping with that cost in the future?
Yeah, we definitely can.
If I could just say one more thing.
Mhm.
I actually did a budget presentation. I don't know if you guys have received it. And it's currently on our police department website. It's about 10.5 minutes long. So if you'd like to see what's in the budget for next year and what's not in the budget, they're both on there. So out of full transparency, I embedded it into the website, and
Okay.
it is a link. So
Okay.
our presentation is there.
I actually would love to see that presentation, but let's take our vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
I'm sorry, since I'm the only person here, I don't know if this is the right time, but maybe we can add you to another agenda when we can, all see the presentation.
Sure.
2 weeks. Kami, will you be, in the building for the
Yes.
meeting 2 weeks? Awesome.
Yes, I will be.
All right, I'll try to take a look at it too prior to that, so.
Okay.
Back on the.
Is that on the Facebook page, chief?
It's not on the Facebook page yet. I wanted to make sure that I got some information out to you guys before I put it on our social media. I just posted it up there this
Thank you.
afternoon. Before you guys started getting
So
questions.
Yeah,
So it's on the West Brookfield Police Department website?
Yep, yes ma'am, right on our landing page, about halfway down.
Okay. Okay.
all right, moving on. Motorcycle proclamation for approval.
You wanna talk about it?
So, we received a request.
Yep.
I don't
motorcycle.
have it on me right this second. For motorcycle safety awareness, and, Mr. Chair, I know you're a big motorcycle fan as well. I also, have ridden motorcycles, and as a police officer, I was actually involved in a motorcycle accident, responding to a call. So it kind of hits near and dear to my heart, and I'm also the control chief for the Central Mass Law Enforcement Council's Accident Reconstruction Team. And last year, we responded to 13 motorcycle crashes. It was one of our most prevalent crashes. We, when it's motorcycle season, we're going out quite frequently. There was a fatality, one fatality, and 9 serious bodily injury accidents that we'd responded to from SEMLEC. So anything that I feel that we can do to get the word out for motorcycle safety, I think is important. And a group reached out to us to see if we could get the select board to make a proclamation for motorcycle safety. And I thought that was a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea. We could put it up on the, something on the, what you call it, that, the flash board too. That'd be nice.
Well, yeah, we could definitely put it, post it outside. Cammy and Brad, have you guys seen the proclamation?
I have not.
Yeah, it'll be in the
No, I have
emails,
not.
so, it's in the emails I sent,
It-
must be, yeah. It's all right.
I saw it.
I can send it again to you guys if you want, but,
No,
So,
no, I'm looking for them.
okay.
I can read it. Would you like me to read it?
yeah, because I was going to if you didn't, so.
If you found it, then
I've got it right here in front of me.
perfect.
All right, so, I will accept a motion to accept the following proclamation. The Town of West Brookfield, Massachusetts Board of Selectmen Proclamation Motorcycle Safety Awareness Period. Whereas the motorcycle is a popular means of transportation for commuting as well as for touring and recreation, and whereas there is a growing need for the cooperation among drivers of automobiles and trucks, motorcyclists, bicyclists, and pedestrians who use our streets and highways to reduce injuries and fatalities, and whereas it is critical for all to increase their knowledge of the rules of the road and the rights and responsibilities of all roadway users, and whereas for the benefit of all citizen bikers, riders, and owners of registered motorcycles residing in West Brookfield and on our surrounding communities, aimed at increasing awareness and reducing accidents. Whereas numerous departments and organizations are committed to making our streets and highways safe for all motor vehicle related transportation, urging and reminding drivers to check twice, save a life. Motorcycles are everywhere. Check twice when pulling out and backing out from parked positions. Check twice when making left turns. Check twice when changing traffic lanes. Check twice for our fellow bikers of West Brookfield and visitors of our town on motorcycles. Now therefore we, the Town of West Brookfield Board, hereby proclaim March 23rd, 2026 to April 30, 2026 to be Motorcycle Safety Awareness Period in the Town of West Brookfield, and wish all who ride an enjoyable and safe riding season. And witness whereof we have unto set our hands and caused the seal of the town of West Brookfield to be affixed this day. What is today?
19th,
June 20th of 2026, West Brookfield Board of Selectmen.
So move, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Nope.
Aye.
I think if we ever did anything on the little flashboard sign, we check twice, save a life. It's a little bit less than that.
Yeah, yeah,
Motorcycles are everywhere.
they are. Yeah. Okay, now on to the Lake Wickabog special use permits for approval. Votes expected. Again, I'm guessing I'm the only one that has these.
I can see the group name on the agendas, but I don't have people's names.
So,
yeah, they just
Yeah.
go by the unit that is sponsoring the
I was
event,
gonna say,
so,
I've got
yeah, so
the group and the
if you've got the
dates.
agenda, you can
Yeah.
read it right off of there.
yep,
Yep,
Let's do them as separate motions, please.
yep.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to approve the Boy Scout Troop 118 Ice Fishing Derby on February 15th, 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I'm
Aye.
assuming that the chief knows about all these?
Yes.
yes.
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve the Wickabog Sportsman's Club Ice Fishing Event on February 8th, 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 I'll make a motion to approve the John Kemp Memorial Ice Fishing Derby event on February 1st, 2026.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
it looks like there's a spelling error. It should be Josh Kemp.
Josh, yes, sorry, Josh Kemp, yeah.
So we need to amend the
Josh Kemp.
motion, so it's the Josh Kemp Memorial Ice Fishing Derby?
Approve that amendment.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is the inclement weather policy for approval. I don't know how we're going to do this unless you guys have it right in front of you.
I am looking at it.
Awesome. Cammy?
I read it, but
Okay. Beth, can you explain what was changed from the last time we saw this?
I'm not sure, Teresa, you really changed a lot of this, so do you wanna run with this, or?
Yeah, let me pull up the one that you guys looked at the last
Yeah.
time, so I can kind of go back and forth.
The breaks up the personnel, I know, essential and non-essential.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on. Go back into here, under policies. This is gonna be the moment that I wish I had double screens at home. Alright. Okay, so, let me see the one I had marked up. Okay, and the last one, okay, the last one, there was, where it had said, this shall apply to town offices, oh my lord. And, police, highway and fire department. But in all actuality, this was, town offices, because police, highway and fire are considered essential. And this would pertain to the non-essential employees. So there was that. I changed the whole format, actually. I removed, I felt like with a phone chain and having to get wait for the chairman to contact me, for me then to initiate a phone chain and all of that. It just seemed kind of monotonous. It just seemed like we don't need something that is so, like, let's not make it complicated, I guess. So I did revamp it quite a bit. Oops, wrong document there. Beautiful. So it basically just outlined the purpose, and the purpose is to ensure the safety of the employees, recognizing the hazardous conditions may make travel unsafe for staff. Also recognizing essential personnel must continue to work to maintain public safety. And also, I wanted to note in there, by aligning staff schedules with inclement weather closures or delays, it supports a more timely and effective cleanup of snow and ice for the town facilities. And we get on to the definitions. So who's an essential employee, who's a non-essential employee, and it goes on to weather-related closures. And we've had the library and the senior center currently follow Quabog Regional School District's inclement weather closings and delays. So we are acknowledging that the town offices will follow that as well. Reporting requirements for non-essential personnel. So basically that just gives the reporting requirements. They're not required to report to work when there's a closure announced or during the hours of the delay announced. However, they must notify their department head or supervisor in their absence before the normal start of their shift. Employees already at work may leave as conditions allow, and non-essential personnel may choose to report to work or remain at work at their own discretion, provided conditions permit safe travel. Then we go on to compensation and use of leave. And employees who do not report to work due to a closure or delay and wish to be compensated may use accrued personnel or vacation time. If the employee is out for vacation or is out sick, they must use either their vacation if they're out on vacation or their sick time if they're out sick that day. Employees may also work from home or make up missed hours with prior approval from their supervisor. The administration of the policy, the department heads and supervisors will be responsible for ensuring compliance with the policy within their departments, and that is it.
Any questions?
I've got two. So what I explained at the last meeting is when you tell me that the school, we're going on the same schedule as the school closures.
Mhm.
The 12-month people at the school still work. There's no children, there's no teachers, because they make up the day. So the 12-month people still go in, or they can use a vacation day or a personal day. They can't use a sick day. And if it's extremely bad storm, it's a foot of snow, that's when the superintendent would get the permission from the school committee chair to close the building, so nobody gets stuck in the parking lot all day long, because pretty much it's when the governor shuts the place down and says, nobody should be traveling today. Otherwise, they're there. And I think that's
Tammy,
a
we're
misconception.
we're not following their policy for their employees. We're following the closure of the school, the day.
Right, so what I'm saying is, when the school closes the school, they're thinking of kids walking to school is one of those hazardous things that they consider, and they've got a bus full of 60 children that they're trying to make sure get to work to school safely. Which I think is a different situation than an adult driving themselves to work. So if there's a 3-inch snowstorm that closes the school, are you telling me we're gonna close town hall and people won't have to report to work?
Well, it actually says non-essential personnel may choose to report to work or remain at their own discretion. So we're not telling them to stay home, we're saying that they may stay home and use their personal or sick time, should they not feel it's safe enough to travel.
And I have no problem doing that
Well, that's what
whatsoever,
that's what the policy says.
and that's where I'm just trying to clarify, because I see one thing that says, but when the school's closed, we'll close town hall and the employees can do that, or they can take a personal day. So that when it's closed, I'm just trying to get the clarification of, if the town hall's closed, are we still paying people? And if we're paying people, they're gonna use their vacation time or their personal time. Is their option to get paid for that time versus we're just paying them because we've closed town hall.
It says right in the
Yeah.
policy, employees who do not report to work due to a closure or delay and wish to be compensated may use accrued personal or vacation time. So
Okay.
that's, if we close the building, they're not getting paid unless they put in for sick or vacation.
Then I don't have a concern. I'm not looking to make anybody go to work in a snowstorm if they want to use the time, if they want to get paid. I think it's important that we're very conscientious of the finances as well, that we're not paying people who aren't coming to work
No, I understand.
as well, unless they're using their time. Just trying to play both sides of making sure people are safe, but that we're not spending money and taxpayers aren't getting a
Yeah.
benefit of that.
Yep.
And the second part that I have is, I don't know if we have a work from home policy, because for somebody to just say, I'm gonna work from home, I think I've got a lot of questions about that, of just getting your supervisor to say, okay, what records are going home? Is everybody capable of being able to work at home? I don't think it's a situation where every single employee has that opportunity. And whether we should just be saying they could work from home, I don't, other than their supervisor saying, okay.
Well, I mean, I think the only people that could really technically telework from home would be the town administrator and the assistant. I think like the clerk and anything else, if you're receiving payments or anything like that, would be in-person kind of.
Our town accountant works from home 3 days a week.
Yeah, our town accountant too, yeah.
So, while we may not have a formal work from home policy, I think that does need to be addressed, and I think we do need to, have a formal policy put in place. So, Kimmy,
I would rather see a work from home policy put in place before that we include that, saying you can do that as an option for this policy.
So,
Um,
would you be okay if we struck the employees may work from home portion? And just leave it, employees may make
Yeah,
up
I
missed
see.
hours with prior approval?
Yeah, I'm good with them making up the hours, at the town hall, working from home. I'd rather take it off of there for right now until we come up with what's an acceptable work policy from home, because I'm concerned about, records going home. Is everybody able to have the ability to work from home before we just say, yeah, go ahead and do that?
All right, so, Beth, can you edit the document to strike
We're taking the bottom one on number 5, correct?
just the may work from home
Yeah.
portion?
Remember.
They'll still be allowed to make up missed hours with prior approval. We really need to get this passed. This will be the third or
Yeah.
fourth time we've looked at it.
No, if we just take that, I'm good with just amending that part of what the work from home comes
Okay.
out, and I'm okay with the rest of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, any other discussion, guys? So I would love to approve a motion as amended.
I'll make
I'll
that
make a-
motion.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oops. I'll make a motion to approve the inclement weather policy as amended.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next item on our agenda is the treasury and the warrants. The treasury warrants.
I'll make a motion to approve the fiscal 26 AP warrant number 15 and fiscal 26 payroll warrant number 15 as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Any other business? Oh, no, the TA report. Sorry, Teresa. That's twice.
It's okay.
It's been a long day.
It has, hasn't it?
Uh-huh.
So, Roland, I think in your signature folder, you'll see a letter that the board had voted to issue a letter to Charter Communications to help facilitate moving forward in our contract renewals. Because I want to say it was several meetings had been canceled on short notice by Charter. And we've kind of been receiving the runaround, and I know that Paul LaPennis had explained the issues that we've been having. So there is a letter there that's been run through special counsel, and would like you to be able to sign that this evening so that we can get it off to Charter.
Yep, I have the letter in my hand. I will review and
Okay,
in
perfect.
all likelihood sign it before I leave for the night.
Okay. So the master planning grant, I think I had told you that we had received the contract package. So had signed that and submitted it back to the state. And so I'm waiting for rural development to send it back countersigned. And at that point, CMRPC will hopefully have had enough time to put their contract together, proposal for us to review and execute, and we can start those steps. The Green Communities Grant, I think I had told you folks that we would be considering the fall grant submission timeframe, and the thought was that we had just closed out this grant round and may not have enough time to submit for I believe the deadline is in April. But you'll recall that we had talked about that HVAC system that's up in the attic and like 30 years old and needs to be replaced. In talking with Gloria from CMRPC, and she deals with the Green Communities grants, and she had said that she believes that project would in fact qualify. So Chris Collins and Tom from E&I are gonna come out, or ECI rather, are gonna come out next week, and we're gonna have a meeting about those. And so there's the HVAC system, and we're looking at, roughly 90,000+ there to replace that unit. And then, we've been having the issues with the existing heating, that software, and that had been purchased through Green Communities funding. And from what I understand, there has been some issues with that same type of system, and green communities, and it had been put in using that grant. And green communities has allowed you to update the system. So we're gonna try to, coordinate with Travis and Chris Collins and see what we can come up with there. So if it looks like we can come up with something soon enough, and yet generate a thorough application, we may submit for this spring round. This would get us the funding a little quicker to be able to take on that project, so just wanted to give you a heads up there. Leland Road, so the documents have been coming over, the loan documents and that, so we've been starting to get everything in order. The project is currently out to bid, and the deadline for the bids is January 28th. So we'll know then, after the bid opening, whether we, those bids come in higher than what the amount that we went forward with on town floor or not. In the meantime, that federal funding that the town has been awarded, and then it was taken back, and then awarded and taken back. Well, we've just been notified that it looks like we made the list again. So as long as they don't take it back, then it's over $1 million. And Kathy had submitted application, that additional funding through the Water Trust, and today she told me she received a notification of $500,000 towards the planning and engineering, so that's fantastic. And she just got that news, so just wanted to share that with you. Also have a meeting Thursday, by phone with the financial director from Quabog Regional. So we'll have a conversation on the budget process and Prop 2.5 and all of that. So we will be, I've started to receive budgets, and some budgets that I've received have made some serious cuts in the event that Prop 2.5 doesn't get approved, and others have not. So I have started receiving them. I've been sending them over to John, and this week I'll start scheduling for next week the sit-downs with these departments. And John will be joining me for those. He'll be joining virtually. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what I've got for you.
Can you tell us which departments are actually sending in budgets with cuts?
Well, yeah, so the town clerk's office had sent over some cuts. Council on Aging, also the highway department is responsible for so many budgets, and a good number of those have significant cuts.
Okay.
I mean significant. So
what's the nature of the cuts that we're seeing?
So for in tree warden, there's so many of his budgets. I wish I had those notes in front of me, but I want to tell you some of the dollar amounts were like 22,000. Another one was like close to 9,000 in cut.
want to say I think there were two that were right around the 22 or 24,000.
Okay.
There's a lot. There's a lot. So,
All right.
um,
Just trying to make sure that that the budget, that the department heads are actually taking it seriously and doing.
well, I think that some really do get it. I mean, clearly Highway gets it. Clearly, I would say, so far, several departments have gotten it. And then
Good.
there's others that, say they can't. So, you know, but we'll meet with all of them and try to work through it together, you know.
Excellent. All
Yep.
right. Anything else, Teresa?
No, that's it.
That is great news about the money coming in for the water project too. So,
Yeah, yes.
any other comments or questions regarding the TA report? All right, moving on. Other business. Any other business? Comments, concerns? So our next Board of Selectmen meeting will be January 27th at 6:15 prior to the special town meeting, being held at the elementary school at 89 North Main Street in town. Our next open meeting is Tuesday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. in the town hall. I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 We are adjourned.
Aye.